I've been playing video games for over 20 years. And in those 20 years, I've played a lot of games, like probably enough to fill up one of the metal farm penises. But of those games, only a select few have really hooked me, really had me by the balls. And because you guys just won't stop asking for it, literally nobody asked for this, I'm gonna be ranking all of them from worst to best. Welcome to Casual Perspective, Hayden here. And today, I'm gonna be ranking every game that I've played for over 100 hours.
And how can you not make money with such a brilliant idea?
Jumping right in at number 16, we have Company of Heroes 3. It pains me to put this one so low as I'm still very actively playing it, and it's currently my most played game on Steam at 403 hours. It's not a bad game, and I have no hesitation recommending it in its current state, but boy did it have a rocky launch, like worse than that North Korean warship. It's a World War II RTS with a heavy emphasis on microing individual units and map/resource control. I primarily play 1v1s online, and winning in Company of Heroes is some of the most satisfying shit ever, but losing is infuriating.
God fucking damn it, that's not what I told you to do, you bitch.
I've actually uninstalled the game multiple times to take a break because losing would fire me up so much. Proper fucking nerd rage. I don't know when I'll stop playing this, and I hope the player base continues to grow, but it earns the number 16 spot because of that horrid launch, questionable balancing, bugs that remain unfixed, and my semi-unhealthy relationship with it. Time for a brew?
Time for a brew?
Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce. Number 15 is Overwatch. I was there, boys. I was there at Ground Zero when Mercy could res a whole fucking team and completely swing a losing game. It was beautiful. I got into Overwatch right when it launched back in May of 2016 and almost immediately fell in love with it. All the different heroes were unique and fun to play, and the maps and game modes were engaging. Classic Overwatch just had a charm to it. My current stats show 196 hours played, which I guess is right, as most of my time was in the first year the game released. Now, I really like Overwatch, and I don't think it's a bad game at all, but why I feel obligated to rank this so low is for all the shady shit Blizzard did transitioning to Overwatch 2. I'm not going to get into it because I'm trying to have fun making this video, but I think we can all agree re-releasing the same game free to play and calling it 2 just to change up the revenue model, add a battle pass, and remonetize a game people already paid for is fucked up.
Get away from me.
It's kinda soured how I feel about Overwatch overall. At number 14, it's Counter-Strike 2/Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I love the idea of Counter-Strike and the highly competitive nature of the game, but for whatever reason, it never fully hooked me for longer than like a month of consistent play at a time. My hours are currently sitting at 174, and those are spread from the release of CSGO to now. There's nothing wrong with Counter-Strike, it's just never really clicked for me, and I often find myself frustrated when playing, and I just feel like I'm missing something. What? Skill issue for sure. Maybe if I put in another 174 hours, I'll get the hang of it. I don't know. Bitch! I will say, playing Wingman with a friend or having a competitive lobby full of the boys is a good time even when I'm playing bad.
Let's just say my Discord is only for kittens.
Is anyone else penis as hard as this, my penis?
Also cases. Ask me how I ended up paying twice MSRP for this Steam Deck. Oh boy, now we're getting into some good shit. At number 13, it's Stronghold Crusader. Hands down, the best Stronghold game. Stronghold 2 and the original Stronghold are definitely runners-up, but Crusader just does nearly everything right. Now, I don't know my exact hours because I literally used to play this off of a fucking PC game disc, but if I had to guess, we'd be somewhere in the 100 to 200 hour range. This was one of my go-to games as a kid. I was playing all the time. There's so much to appreciate here, from the art style and animations to designing castles and their economies, and the awesome combat and castle sieging. As with all the Stronghold games, it's not perfect and there's some jank and balance issues, but if your aim is to play casually,
He said it!
then it's great. The definitive edition is about to drop, and I can't wait to hop back in and hear about needing more wood.
Wood needed, wood needed, wood needed.
Honestly feels a little dirty to talk about newer Call of Duty games anymore, but at number 12, it's the 8th gen Call of Duty games. Specifically Black Ops 3, Call of Duty World War II, and Modern Warfare Remastered. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to talk about each one individually, so I'm counting them all as one. Between these three games, my hours sit at around 480. I played the other Call of Duties from this generation, but my hours were really low. This era of COD games was the last time I grinded out Call of Duty multiplayer and actually had fun doing it. Of this bunch, I'd say Black Ops 3 is probably the strongest title, not necessarily for its multiplayer, but for the zombies. The Black Ops 3 Zombies offering, if we're counting DLC, just might be the best in the series with how many maps are available. Call of Duty World War II is probably the weakest of this batch, and it gets a lot of hate, but I still gave it my time and had fun with it. Honestly, for me, I'd still much rather play World War II than any Call of Duty that came after it. Coming in at number 11 is an old favorite, Payday 2. I got into Payday 2 at release and played it religiously for the years following. This had been my most played game on Steam at 326 hours until Company of Heroes 3 recently took the crown. This is just such a good idea for a game and executed so well. Giving the players freedom to either go in guns blazing or take the quiet approach and complete heists without alerting the police was a brilliant move. There's so much to do and so many different ways to do it. The content offering in modern Payday 2 is insane, with the latest DLC being released 10 years after the launch of the game. I've been out of the crime game for a while, but I look back on my bank robbing, meth cooking, hostage executing days fondly. At number 10 is MX vs ATV Reflex. This one is a real outlier as it's the only racing or sports title I've put serious time into. I used to race in real life as a kid and I still fuck with motocross and supercross today, so there's some context on why this is here. On Steam, I have 320 hours in the game, but I played it for years on the 360 before moving over to PC, so my hours for this could very well be 500 or more. Reflex was a big deal when it dropped. It introduced a new control scheme where you would steer the bike with one analog stick and control your rider's weight and leaning with the other. Muscle milk. This became the standard for these games moving forward. Terrain deformation was also introduced, which was mind-blowing at the time. It affected gameplay as well, with the tracks actually getting rutted up and deformed with each lap. Racing online was a blast back in the day, and trying to ride perfectly and set lap time records was addicting. Reflex fucks, and it's easily the best motocross game I've ever played, maybe the best ever. Number 9, Borderlands 2. This one really needs no introduction. Certified hood classic right here. This shit is nearly 13 years old and still holds up insanely well. Gearbox put on a clinic with how to do a looter shooter right with Borderlands 2. My hours are currently sitting at 130, which I honestly feel is kind of criminal for how great the game is, how much content there is, and how replayable it is. I've never fully leveled a character, and I think that's a rite of passage to call yourself a Borderlands fan, so I should probably do that. So much charm, great art style, and insanely fun gameplay. Oh, and guns.
Lots of guns.
I actually did an entire video on Borderlands 2 and all the DLC, so go check that out if you want to hear me yap about it at length. Fingers, dicks, and balls crossed that Borderlands 4 hits the mark. For number 8, I'm cheating again. It's Battlefield 1, 3, and 4. These three, along with Bad Company 2, are the best in the series, and I imagine most Battlefield fans would agree with me on that. Between the three games on PC, I'm sitting pretty at 373 hours, and I would happily give 300 more. These Battlefield games are all-out war done to perfection.
Nice. That felt like war.
That felt like war.
Infantry combat, vehicle combat, aerial combat, naval combat, and insane destruction to tie it all together. Battlefield's playground of warfare facilitates some of the most insane and fun moments in all of gaming.
I took him out! Let's fucking go, dude! I'm the Red Baron!
There's a reason they're called only in Battlefield moments.
It's John Battlefield!
I'm watching!
It's John Battlefield!
These are tough to rank, but if I had to, I'd probably say Battlefield 1 at the top, then 3, then 4. Go crazy in the comments.
Oh god, I'm going down! I'm going down!
Oh my god!
Mining its way into number 7 is freaking Minecraft. At this point, literally everybody knows Minecraft, and you know what? It's earned its popularity. I don't know if you knew this, but Minecraft kinda fucking slaps. Minecraft peaked for me back in the 360 edition days. I still love modern Minecraft, but playing split screen on the 360 just hit different. Simple times. I don't know what my true total hours are, but if I had to guess across the different versions, we'd be somewhere in the 300 to 350 hour range. There's such a magic to exploring the world and caves and the endless creative possibilities available. It's truly a sandbox to play in how you wish, and very few games, if any, have done this as well as Minecraft. It's over 16 years old already, but I imagine this is a game that will be played until the end of time. Philosophical perspective. Okay, now some Call of Duty I am more than happy to glaze. At number 6, it's the 7th gen COD games. Specifically for me, Call of Duty 2, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3. My estimated total hours for these is somewhere in the 750 to 1,000 hour range. You may have caught there's a couple noticeable omissions from that list, and yeah, Black Ops 2, I never really got into it as much as the others, and the original Modern Warfare I just never really played because I wasn't allowed to. Thanks, Mom and Dad. This is the golden era of Call of Duty, hands down. The multiplayer was addicting as hell to grind, and all of these had fantastic single-player campaigns. Not to mention, World at War and Black Ops not only introduced Call of Duty Zombies, but also gave us some of the greatest zombies maps of all time. Even in these days, Call of Duty was still mainstream video game junk food, but the difference is these were actually fucking good games that earned your time and money instead of exploiting it. The original Black Ops is my favorite Call of Duty ever, so that would be the front runner here, followed by Modern Warfare 2, then World at War, Modern Warfare 3, and then Call of Duty 2. I don't even want to say this because I know they'll fuck it up, but if this generation of Call of Duty games could somehow get a Master Chief Collection style release for modern platforms, Jesus would probably come back just to hop in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby to talk some shit about your mom.
Your mama's so fat.
And maybe say the N-word. At number 5, Red Dead Redemption 2. It's no secret that Red Dead 2 is basically a masterpiece. This is a cowboy simulator done to perfection. The world really feels alive and full, and it's so immersive. It's kind of insane how you can just stumble into your own adventures that aren't even scripted or part of the main story. If you think it, chances are you can probably do it in Red Dead 2.
Look at you!
The only reason this isn't higher on the list for me is the game does take some time to get going, and it's a bit of a slow burn in a lot of ways. I don't even think that's a bad thing, but just not always what I'm looking for. My hours currently sit at 160, and that's primarily on the PlayStation version, but even just writing this makes me want to fire up my PC and play through it again. Red Dead 2 also holds the rare honor of being a game my dad was interested in. I'd play while he'd tell me what to do, which was usually talking shit to strangers and robbing people. I don't know if you know this, but dads fuck with highway robbery. Oh! Okay, this is a big it's my list, shut the fuck up moment, but number 4 is Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, baby. Yeah, I put this higher than Red Dead 2. In my elementary and middle school days, roller coasters and theme parks were a particular obsession of mine. I really don't know why, because I was terrified of riding roller coasters in real life, but damn was I hooked. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was my outlet on scratching that itch, and I was playing constantly. I was always starting parks and never finishing them, or trying to build replicas of real-life roller coasters. It was great. One of the first YouTube videos I ever made as a kid was a Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 recreation of King Dacaw at Six Flags Great Adventure, which I hear has now been demolished. That sucks. I have no way of knowing what my hours are in this, but based on how beat up my disc is, we're in the 300 plus hour range. This was the last great Roller Coaster Tycoon game, and even with modern theme park builders blowing it out of the water in basically every way, this one's always going to be special to me. Okay, before getting into the top 3 games, a quick word from our sponsor, me. I'm the sponsor. Check me out on Twitch, join the Casual Perspective Discord server, and for the love of pussy, check out my PS2 shooters video. I poured my soul into that shit, and it flopped. Flopped harder than my penis on the dinner table when I met my ex-girlfriend's parents. Thanks for your support. Mwah. Okay, back to the list. Number 3 is my boy Metal Slug, specifically Metal Slug 1 through 3. Yes, cheating again, I'm counting all of these as one. It's hard to know my hours for Metal Slug because I played it on so many platforms, including actual MVS cabinets, but my guess would be in the 150 to 200 hour range. Considering each of these takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half to finish, that's a lot of playthroughs. Metal Slug is special for me as it's one of the first games I ever played, but why it's so high up is how fun, challenging, creative, and beautiful these games are. It's so fun to play and insane to look at. Timeless games. I will play these until I physically can't. I actually made a video over a year ago looking at the entire series, so check that out if you want more Metal Slug. At number 2, it's Cuphead. Cup motherfucking head. It would be one thing to make an okay playing game with an awesome, unique, handcrafted art style as a selling point, but Cuphead not only delivers unmatched visuals, but insanely fun, addicting, and challenging gameplay. It's the whole package. I have 157 hours in the game and multiple completed playthroughs, and it still hasn't gotten old. Cuphead's immense difficulty and high ceiling for perfect runs is largely to thank for that. The gameplay was inspired by games like Contra and Metal Slug, so really no surprise I have it this high up. Also like Metal Slug, Cuphead's art style just doesn't get old and will be timeless. Hell, this style is already nearly 100 years old and still holds up. This is another game that I'm going to be playing until I physically can't, probably due to my hands being blown off in World War III. I also did a whole video on Cuphead as well. It's the one called I Love Cuphead in all caps. It's about why I love Cuphead. Check it out. And finally, at number 1, it's Fortnite. Yep, Fortnite is my favorite game of all time, and I have 269,666 hours in the game. Thanks for watching. Okay, bad joke. At number 1 for real is Bungie's Halo games. Halo 1, 2, 3, and Reach. No ODST. I didn't break 100 hours in ODST. I mean, Halo is Halo. It's one of the greatest game series of all time. At least it was. I have a lot of history with these games and so many fond memories. My hours are once again hard to know for sure, but across versions and console generations, my estimate is 700 to 1,000 hours. These Halo games just do virtually everything right. Fantastic story, awesome single player and co-op campaigns, world-class multiplayer, and outstanding bonus modes like Forge and Firefight. Reach was the last Bungie Halo game, and it's nearly 15 years old now. 15 years! Go back and play Reach or any of these games and see just how well they still hold up. It's damn impressive. If I had to rank these, I'd put 3 on top, followed by Reach, then CE, then Halo 2. Nerdfight in the comments. See you there. Broken record here, but again, Bungie's Halo games will always be special to me, and I'll be hopping back in to play these for the rest of my life. Even with my missing World War III hands. I'll find a way. And there she is, all my over 100 hour games ranked. Probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but this ranking was just for fun and more than anything, just an excuse to talk about the games I've played a lot. This is not a definitive ranking based on the quality of the games or anything really. I'm just going off how I feel about them. On that note, what games have you played for hundreds of hours and loved dearly? Which game not on my list is worth spending hundreds of hours in? Let me know down below, ho. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week for my 7-hour long A Game About Digging a Hole retrospective video. Later, nerds. Ah, shit, I forgot about Butters. Hey, Butters, what do you think of this ranking video?